Hello, I'm Sarah, and this is my colleague Dan from our marketing consultancy, Sagacious Goat. We're here with one of our clients, Juliet, from accountancy firm BKL, where she's a Chief Growth Officer. Juliet has an illustrious career. If you look her up on LinkedIn, and I thoroughly recommend that you do, you'll see that there's a lot of household names there, big business names, and she's helped those companies to work with their people to help them be the best they can be and help those companies achieve their growth potential. Welcome, Juliet. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you, lovely to be here.
So, Juliet, tell us a bit about BKL and your role within the business.
So, BKL is an accountancy practice. We're based in North London and the City. And probably most importantly, with recent news, is we've just unified under one brand as BKL after a number of M&A, successful M&A transactions that have led us to be who we are today.
Sounds like very exciting times for you.
Yeah.
And so you came in and looked at what you've got and what you want to achieve. And what results were you looking for as you looked at the marketing the business is doing and how you wanted to take that forward?
When I came in, a lot of the integration between the acquisitions had happened, but there were some rather large gaps in the way that we were going to market and the way that we were running marketing. So it was a huge opportunity, and it definitely interested me, hence my choice to join. But once you get your feet under the table, you think, how am I going to tackle it? That's another task in itself.
So Julia, that sounds like a challenge and a huge opportunity. How did you prioritise what you wanted to focus on?
I think what became really clear to me was that I wanted to do this at pace. The unification of the brand in particular was something that clearly the businesses have been talking about for quite a long time. And as is often the case, it's really hard to bottom out some of those circular arguments. So I was really clear that I wanted to do that quickly with full engagement and support of the business. So I started to think about, right, well, how do I get that achieved quickly? Looking internally, I didn't have the experience within the existing team to get that done. So I started meeting people to talk about brand. I started to meet people talking about engagement within the organisation. I mean, honestly, the conversations were fascinating, but they weren't hitting the pace. And then I met you guys, and we started to have actually a very different conversation. Your competence came across in droves. You've both worked at similar organisations to BKL, so you had sector experience and you could demonstrate that by giving me really tangible examples of where you run marketing campaigns, rebranded, done literally everything that I could come up with to challenge you on. So that was impressive. I don't know if you realise this, we've actually only been working together for 3.5 months.
Is that all?
It's 3.5 months.
Wow.
And we have achieved more in those 3.5 months than I think I've achieved in any other 3.5 month period in my career. And for anyone watching this that knows me, that's going some. So I think we should take a moment to be really proud. The branding unification project was huge, particularly with our time frame. There's so much more than what people see on the outside to really produce unification, and it was critical to me that we had hearts and minds with us. I didn't want to be the person that came in and did the right thing, but in the wrong way. And you've held me to account through that process, so thanks again for that. And we unified officially on the 1st of September. And so far, so good. I mean, everyone's very, very happy with what we've achieved, which is music to my ears.
And it's great, and it was such an exciting day on the 1st as well. It was really, really great to see the fruition of some of this stuff, and I think that unification part was so important across the business. The other bit that's been a unification that I think we've really enjoyed is working with your marketing team and seeing them flourish and really come to life, and what they can bring to the whole all of the projects we've been working on together, and seeing some real sterling work from them.
Look, we were all there at one point. We all started our careers, and you remember the people that inspired you, and they're the people that give you the time to grow. And the feedback that I get from the team on almost a daily basis is that they're being challenged and supported to take risks, to try new things, but with a really lovely safety net. I mean, that's the perfect environment for growth, isn't it?
So, Julia, it's really interesting that you say that it's only been 3.5 months. It's gone so quickly, and we've really enjoyed it. What for you have been the highlights of those 3.5 months?
So the highlights for me, I think, really are in those moments that matter during this project. I know that I had a team that you were, shepherding across the business that knew what they had to do, had the right support and the right vision to get me where I had envisaged we could get to. I don't know that I could have got there that quickly with anyone else. And I think that's mostly because if I'd have hired an individual to come internally, I think I'd still be waiting for them to start. If I was working with a larger external agency, they wouldn't be so embedded in the organisation and wouldn't have the same traction. I think we're in a really sweet spot, and what Sagacious Goat is bringing to market is a bit different to anything else that I've come across. And I think it's exciting. I think what you can offer makes a real impact really quickly.